At its core, what it means to be British is to apologize for everything except the things you should be sorry for.
My only barometer really is like, is the joke good? Does the joke work? Which means, do people laugh or not?
Like with France, I've never been to a place that believes its own hype so strongly. This is the Kanye West of countries. It's unbelievable.
The rest, I don't care very much about, really.
There's a very subtle difference, between an immigrant and an expat. The easy way to say it is that immigrants are brown and black and expats are white, but that's too simple.
Oh, God. Like, if you ever catch me trying to spread awareness about things, please shoot me. Hi, I'm Vidura. Do I walk? Yeah? I'm Vidura. I'm a comedian, I guess. I'm in Paris for a show this evening. Someone has asked to dress me for the show, and I have said okay. So we're going to do that. This way. Okay. Describe my comedy. I tried often to avoid this question, but if I am forced to answer, I guess autobiographical to some extent. You could call it storytelling.
It's nice to meet all of you. I'm Vidura. I'm from Sri Lanka. I moved to the UK about 2 years ago, and since I moved here, whenever I'm getting to know someone and I mention that I'm from Sri Lanka, there's always a certain segment of the population that feels the need to tell me about their life-changing volunteering trip through Southeast Asia. Like an angel that fell from Europe. Yes.
But I also sometimes don't like when people, it feels like a very self-aggrandizing thing to be like, oh, I'm a storyteller. Like, how do we do this?
You're downstairs?
Yes, I'm downstairs.
Yes, I can.
Okay, yes, yeah. How do I...
Wait.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. This is my first time doing this, so I'm very happy to let you lead. That's very nice. I like that a lot. Yeah, yes, please. I'm a comedian half the time. Yeah.
Half the time? What does that mean?
I still work a normal job in a miscellaneous tech company. I'm a software engineer. Quite violently boring, but practical. I got my first miscellaneous tech job and moved to Germany, which has a thriving English language comedy scene. And I started there. I'm sorry, I'm thinking so.
No, but I don't think. Of course, it's important.
I don't think it's the most uncommon story of people starting comedy, where you hang out at an open mic, you see enough people do quite terribly, and the thought enters your mind that you can at least do better than that. And then you try and you quickly find out that you cannot. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Ciao. I was just very confidently bad for a while.
Yes, people like to tell me that I look a little bit like a chocolate Jesus. If I'm being completely honest, I don't even like this joke anymore. I'm just not successful enough to stop doing it yet.
Yeah, I didn't like it, even at the time it was recorded, I was already sick of it. It is that very hack early career comedian, oh, this is what I look like. I would be very unhappy if I was still doing anything like that. No. I think it's down. Oh no, we're going the wrong way entirely. When the stage is this high, I like a lower chair, and then I realize I also like something to rest my arm on this side. I make myself very comfortable. This room is slightly asymmetrical, and it... Catching me being very pedantic. I think this is the center, yeah? Okay, it's comfy. I like this. I remember when I was in university in Malaysia, Hassan Minhaj's first special, Homecoming King, came out, and I was like, oh.
Americans hit their kids on the arm and bruise their body. Immigrants slap you across the face and bruise your soul. It's Guantanamo of the mind.
Like that, I don't know. There was no proper conscious thing, but like something was implanted at that point.
Germany heard that the rest of the world thinks that white people don't know how to dance. So they decided to make their favorite kind of music something you don't need to dance to, right? This is genius. This is what Europe has done for centuries. Whenever they're losing, they don't get better, they just move the goalposts. Electronic music is just the Winter Olympics of music. That's what it is.
Mic check, 1, 2. Is it, can you hear at the back? For when people are walking in, can we have the lights dim? It's just it's like a specific mic because I think it looks cool, but it is a bit small. Possible to change the color of these blue ones? Yes. People have this, like, because of the, and I get it, because of the nature of my stuff that I enjoy making people feel uncomfortable. It is just like I have an idea and I want to make it work, and however, whatever I need to do to make it work, I do that. And the personal stuff is just what comes out. It's like what's on my mind.
I wish I grew up with money so I had this sort of level of confidence where I could just say dumb shit with enough charisma that it sounds profound. I want to do things that contradict themselves and feel okay about it. I want to do things like be vegan, but do coke every weekend. Because cows' lives are very important. Colombians, not so much, apparently.
It's just under the umbrella of like this like autobiographical thing of like what's going on in my life. So like say that first hour had very much like a few targets of the West because I'd like just moved and it was just a lot. So I think a lot of that was like me processing stuff. And then say this one, this hour, I talk a good deal of shit about India and a good amount about back home as well. It's less specifically the West and just who has annoyed me most recently. This is from Munich last week, so I write down the whole set list on this side and I write down any like extra stuff I want to work on for this one on this side.
Good.
My handwriting gets worse each time, so I can read it less, so I'm less dependent on hopefully. And now I'm going to do something I also do, which is like to creep on the audience from the little window. 10, 15 minutes before I like to be fully, ideally like an hour or so before I like to be like fully locked away. And I just get weird. And like, I need to be locked away because I'm unable to really like be a person.
Can you keep that applause for the star of the night, Vidura!
I have lived in the UK now for about 4 years, and I have contemplated leaving the UK for about 4 years. And it's not that I dislike the country. I just sort of dislike the people and the places and the culture and the...
You don't want the audience to feel like they're being performed to, and they do know it, but you want to suspend disbelief, and a story is a good way to do that, of like, oh, he's just talking to me.
It's quite like, I don't know if you heard here, like earlier this year, there were big anti-immigration race riots, like quite violent ones in most of the country. And they really know how to make a kid feel welcome. And it hit me that it was the first time in a good few years that anti-immigration had been on like so much of the forefront of right-wing stuff. It really made me realize that I feel, especially as an immigrant, to give a public statement of thanks to the trans community for keeping the bigots occupied for the last couple of years, because they've been so worried about where you're going to the bathroom that we've been crossing borders willy-nilly.
If you ever catch me trying to spread awareness about things, please shoot me. Because I think there are people that do that, and they should do that. I prefer to be an entertainer.
My main reason for wanting to leave the UK, and I'll leave you guys on this,
is, it's not their various terrible social issues. It is mostly that, especially in the last couple of years, it has come to my attention that they are becoming poor. And I do not fuck with that, okay? I have not worked so hard my entire life to move from one struggling island nation to another, all right?